Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Back again with me, ADR Good Movies. In this video I will invite you to watch a storyline, My Husband's Best Friend Claims Me. Before the storyline, don't forget to subscribe and like. Rather than being curious, let's continue by watching the video until the end of the story. Okay.
For 7 years, Haley believed she was living a fairy tale. Her marriage to Chase was, in her eyes, a sanctuary of devotion and exclusivity. She thought she was his one and only, the center of his universe. But the harsh light of reality often breaks through in the most unexpected ways sometimes. It takes a tragedy to reveal the farce. A car accident, a hospital bed, and a simple lie became the stage for a revelation that would shatter her world. As she lay there, bruised but awake, the curtain was pulled back not by an enemy, but by the very man who swore to protect her. The hospital room is sterile and cold, a stark contrast to the heated betrayal unfolding within its walls. Haley wakes up to see two men standing over her, her husband, Chase, and his wealthy, enigmatic best friend, Xavier Whitmore. Xavier, known as the youngest billionaire in NYC, has always been distant, almost cold towards Haley. She assumes he dislikes her. But as she feigns confusion, claiming not to remember them, she catches a glimpse of her husband's true nature. Instead of fear or heartbreak at his wife's memory loss, Chase sees an opportunity, a twisted get-out-of-jail-free card that will allow him to pursue his illicit desires without guilt. In a move that defies all moral logic, Chase concocts a plan on the spot. He tells Haley that the man standing beside him, Xavier, is her husband. It is a lie so brazen, so cruel, that it takes Haley's breath away, though she hides it behind a mask of vacant confusion. Chase effectively hands his wife over to his best friend so he can openly cavort with his mistress, Vanessa, who happens to be Haley's best friend. It is a double betrayal of the highest order. Chase pleads with Xavier, invoking their brotherhood, to get him to agree to this charade. Xavier, reluctant but bound by some unspoken code or perhaps a hidden motive of his own, agrees to play the role of the loving husband. The drive to Xavier's estate is a journey into the unknown for Haley. She sits in the passenger seat of a luxury car that costs more than her childhood home, glancing sideways at the man who is now pretending to be her life partner. Xavier Whitmore is an enigma wrapped in expensive tailoring. He is stoic, powerful, and intimidating. For years, Haley felt small in his presence, convinced that his indifference was actually disdain. Now, she is expected to share a roof, and perhaps a bed, with him. The narrative explores her internal monologue, the mixture of fear, curiosity, and a simmering rage at Chase. Every mile that puts distance between her and her real husband also distances her from the woman she used to be, the naive wife who believed in happy endings. Arriving at the Whitmore mansion is a sensory overload. The sheer scale of Xavier's wealth is staggering. Servants greet her as Madame, a title that feels borrowed and heavy. Xavier introduces her to her home, a place she has never stepped foot in. The house is a museum of modern art and cold surfaces, devoid of the personal clutter that makes a house a home. Haley notes the absence of her touch, no photos, no trinkets, no memories. It is the perfect setting for a fake marriage, beautiful, expensive, and completely empty. Yet, Xavier's demeanor surprises her. He is attentive, almost gentle. He tells the staff to cater to her every need, a level of care Chase rarely showed even on his best days. Is this part of the act, or is there a depth to Xavier she missed? Meanwhile, Chase is drunk on his newfound freedom. The narrative cuts to him and Vanessa, reveling in their deception. Chase justifies his actions with the pathetic logic of a bored man. 7 years of marriage, life gets boring, he tells Xavier. He claims Vanessa makes him feel alive, like a man. It is the classic anthem of the cheater blaming the partner for the staleness of the relationship while taking no responsibility for the rot he introduced. Chase begs Xavier to keep the charade going, promising that when Haley remembers, he will just sweet-talk her back. He believes Haley is pathetic, wrapped around his finger, a woman with no agency who will always crawl back. He has no idea that the woman he is describing no longer exists. She died in that accident, and a vengeful strategist has taken her place. Haley's strategy is a dangerous game of wait and see. She decides to maintain the ruse of amnesia to gather intelligence, to see just how far Chase and Vanessa will go, and to understand Xavier's role in this conspiracy. She overhears conversations, catches lingering glances, and pieces together the timeline of the affair. It hurts a visceral physical pain in her chest to realize that the two people she trusted most have been laughing at her behind her back. But pain is fuel. She decides to test Xavier. If he is pretending to be her husband, she will make him work for it. She will demand the affection, the attention, and the respect that Chase denied her. The dynamic shifts when Xavier presents her with a gift, a massive diamond ring won at an auction. He slides it onto her finger with a look that is hard to decipher. "Because you're my wife," he says. "The most wonderful, beautiful woman I've ever met." Haley freezes. Is he lying to maintain the cover for Chase? Or is he acting on feelings he has suppressed for years? The ring is heavy, a symbol of the complicated web they are weaving. Unlike Chase's gifts, which were often apologies in disguise, this feels like a statement. Xavier is playing the role of the perfect husband a little too well, blurring the lines between fiction and reality. The tension reaches a boiling point at a party hosted by Chase. It is a surreal gathering of the elite, where secrets are currency and morality is flexible. Chase and Vanessa are there, barely hiding their intimacy. They treat Haley with a condescending pity, amused by her condition. Vanessa, the snake in the grass, suggests a game, pushing Haley into uncomfortable situations for her own entertainment. She thinks Haley is a clueless victim. She doesn't know that Haley is watching every touch, every whisper, cataloging their sins for a future reckoning. The party becomes a battlefield where social graces mask brutal intentions. The climax of the evening comes during a game of truth or dare. Haley is dared to kiss the most handsome man in the room. The heir leaves the room. Chase smirks, fully expecting Haley's subconscious to draw her to him. He believes his hold on her is absolute, transcending even memory loss. He preens, ready for the ego boost, but Haley turns. She looks past Chase, past the history, past the betrayal. She locks eyes with Xavier. With a confidence that surprises everyone, including herself, she walks up to Xavier and kisses him. It isn't a peck on the cheek, it is a claim. The kiss changes everything. For Haley, it is a declaration of independence. For Chase, it is a slap in the face. His smirk vanishes, replaced by a shock of jealousy he didn't think he was capable of feeling. He gave his wife away, but seeing her choose another man, his best friend, ignites a primal possessiveness. He realizes too late that he doesn't want to share his toy. For Xavier, the kiss is a shock to the system. He stiffens, then melts into it. The chemistry is undeniable, electric and terrifying. In that moment, the lie becomes the truth. They aren't pretending anymore. Chase drags Xavier away for a smoke, which is code for a confrontation. He demands to know what is going on. "She's still my wife," he hisses, the hypocrisy dripping from his lips like poison. Xavier remains cool, reminding Chase that he was the one who orchestrated this entire scenario. "You wanted to have fun," Xavier says, his voice cutting like a knife. "Don't get mad now that the game is real." Xavier defends Haley, not as a possession, but as a person. He warns Chase that he won't let him hurt her anymore. The friendship, once solid, is now fracturing under the weight of Chase's greed and Xavier's awakening conscience. Back at the party, Haley is alone with her thoughts. The kiss lingers on her lips. She realizes that she feels safer, more desired, and more respected in the arms of the fake husband than she ever did with the real one. This realization is terrifying. It means her entire marriage was a hollow shell long before the accident. She watches Chase and Vanessa across the room, seeing them clearly for the first time. Shallow, selfish, and small. She is outgrowing them in real time. She decides that the old Haley who would forgive and forget is dead. The new Haley is going to take everything she deserves. The night ends with a proposal to move the party to a hotel. Chase, ever the tactless planner, books a room for himself and Vanessa, and a separate penthouse suite for Xavier and Haley. He makes a crude joke about Xavier and Haley needing a water bed, showing just how little he respects the sanctity of his own marriage. He assumes nothing will happen between them because he believes Xavier is too honorable and Haley is too frigid. He underestimates the power of proximity and the heat of revenge. In the penthouse suite, the atmosphere is thick with unsaid words. The room is luxurious, with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city and a shower with see-through glass, a detail that adds to the intimacy. Xavier and Haley are alone. The pretense of the audience is gone. They don't need to act for Chase anymore. So why are they still playing the roles? Xavier tries to be the gentleman, offering to take the couch or stay distant. But Haley is tired of distance. She is tired of being the good wife who sleeps alone while her husband cheats. Haley confronts Xavier. She asks him why he agreed to this. Why he is helping Chase destroy her life. Xavier's answer is evasive, but his eyes tell a different story. He didn't do it for Chase. He did it to be close to her. He has watched her for years, trapped in a loveless marriage, wasting her light on a man who prefers the dark. This favor to Chase was his Trojan horse, a way to finally step into her life, even if under false pretenses. The tragedy is that he had to become a liar to show her the truth of his feelings. Chase, meanwhile, is having a miserable time. The fun he chased is turning to ash in his mouth. He is in his room with Vanessa, but his mind is in the penthouse. He is imagining what is happening between Xavier and Haley. His imagination is his punishment. He realizes that by treating his wife as disposable, he made her available. Vanessa's attempts to seduce him feel cheap and annoying. He pushes her away, consumed by the monster of his own making. The freedom he wanted feels a lot like losing everything. Back in the penthouse, the walls are coming down. Haley drops the act, or perhaps she leans into it so hard it loops back to reality. She challenges Xavier. Chase made his choice, she whispers. Now I'll make mine. She isn't a victim being traded between men. She is a woman making a choice. She chooses the man who looks at her with reverence, not the one who looks right through her. She initiates the intimacy, not out of duty, but out of desire. It is a reclaiming of her body and her heart. The scene is tender and charged. Xavier, the man who supposedly disliked her, touches her as if she is fragile glass. He worships her. It is a stark contrast to the transactional nature of her marriage with Chase. Haley realizes that love isn't about longevity. It's about intensity and care. 7 years with Chase gave her less than 7 hours with Xavier. She weeps, not for the loss of her marriage, but for the time she wasted thinking she didn't deserve more. As the night deepens, the narration reflects on the theme of identity. Who is Haley now? Is she Mrs. Chase, the scorned wife? Or is she Mrs. Whitmore, the beloved partner of a billionaire? The amnesia might have been fake, but the transformation is real. She has forgotten the woman who tolerated disrespect. She has forgotten the wife who waited by the phone. In the arms of her husband's best friend, she remembers who she is supposed to be: cherished, passionate, and alive. The episode ends on a cliffhanger. Chase is banging on the door, or perhaps calling incessantly, his panic fully set in. But the door to the penthouse is locked. Inside, Haley and Xavier are in their own world. The joke that Chase started has backfired spectacularly. He wanted to claim his mistress. Instead, his best friend claimed his wife, and the most devastating part? His wife let him. The screen fades to black with the promise of a morning that will bring a reckoning for everyone involved. The lie is over. The war has just begun. Ultimately, My Husband's Best Friend Claims Me is a story about value. Chase undervalued Haley, seeing her as a depreciating asset he could park in a garage while he test drove a newer model. Xavier saw her value instantly and was willing to burn bridges to acquire her. Haley finally recognized her own value and realized she was too expensive for a man like Chase to afford. The amnesia was the greatest gift she could have received. It allowed her to forget why she ever loved a man who didn't love her back.